once again, it is I, the Loose Cannon.
It is I.
It is I, the Loose Cannon. And we got here Sam Keola, the Wrestling Connoisseur. I took it away from you.
You did.
And this is our prediction show. And we got the future world champ, Allison. She's like John Cena. She's going to be 20-time world champ. And have a better career than any of them ever did, frankly. Calling it right now.
Yeah. She actually really has a really good sleeper hold.
Mm-hmm.
Chokehold.
She's pro.
Mm-hmm.
And this is our show for predictions for tables, ladders, and chairs. The upcoming RAW-Exclusive pay-per-view that's going to be on Sunday, October 22nd at the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So the first match that we're going to talk about. Yes.
Are all the matches like some sort of gimmick?
Nope. Only one.
That?
Yeah, see, that was the problem I had, because there's no tables match, there's no ladders match, there's no chairs match. There's just a TLC match at the very end. Unless they randomly start to insert these matches at some time, because the card right now is pretty thin.
It's very thin. It's been built very thin because everything has been built toward the main event.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that one of these matches ends up getting that sort of stipulation. I think it'd be really cool. But we had yet to see.
So, pre-show.
Pre-show. So it's Alicia Fox versus Sasha Banks.
Definitely pre-show. And they actually said this is going to be on the pre-show.
Yes. And
when I heard that, I was like, oh, okay. What's going to be on the main show? Because I only know one match so far. And it's the only thing they seem like they've built toward.
Yeah.
Besides Bray and Balor, which is going to be a sucker.
And Osku and Emma.
Yeah, that was the big promotion before.
For Osku.
Shield. It was Osku. TLC.
So.
But it's not going to be a TLC match.
Yeah. So, who knows? But my prediction for this first match is for Alicia Fox in an upset.
Crazy like a fox.
Because she's crazy like a fox. She has that shirt now. In which she is on the shirt, but it's her as a fox.
I also think it might be Alicia Fox winning. Because Sasha seems like she is in the doghouse right now.
Yeah.
And
they are not happy with her. She has been very far from the title picture for a solid amount of time now.
Yeah, she lost that title very quickly, and then that was scrapped. And there's been some, reports of some verbal abuse with fans, and I think they're taking that very seriously.
She's gone on record saying that she doesn't like being stalked by fans. So she doesn't like it when they show up at the airport or at the hotel, but she'll happily, interact with fans at the arena. Unfortunately...
So that's part of the job.
Yeah. It's an occupational hazard where you reach that certain level of stardom where you're kind of expected after a certain point to be more available to their fans. She's a future world champ. What are you doing?
She is, but I don't want to clean up the floor with her spilling stuff on it.
It's fine. It's fine.
All right, you're cleaning it up.
That's fine. She didn't really spill.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to interact with the fans, if you don't want to be stalked, if you don't want to sign autographs at the airport. No, I mean, I'm not saying that the fans can't be obnoxious with it and stuff. But you're a celebrity now.
Yeah, so you have to take the good with the bad, so to speak.
I guess
and especially because of the fact that she is so popular. I mean, she's still popular with fans, even if she's not quite as popular. Even if she's not quite as popular backstage.
I think she's losing them though because of her actions. Like she, don't meet your heroes
because she's been so
rude to them. Then
about it, yeah.
So there's that. Alicia Fox is going to win. And
also because she finally has a shirt. So
yeah, her whole thing is that she has a shirt, she's going to win.
Yeah.
I think it's on the pre-show. Alicia Fox can win. It'll be teaching Sasha Banks a lesson, and it really doesn't hold any weight.
It doesn't have as much of an impact.
Yeah.
So
is that the only pre-show match?
That is the only currently announced pre-show match. There will probably be one more because they usually have 2 or 1 very long one.
Yeah.
And I don't anticipate this match is going to be very long, but I don't know. So the next match I want to talk about, I don't know if it's actually going to fall this way on the card, is the Cruiserweight tag match. So it's Brian Kendrick and Jack Alexander, Jack Gallagher. I'm crazy. The Brian Kendrick and Gentleman
Crazy
Jack
like
Gallagher. Versus Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander. So I imagine that it'll be a win for Swann and Alexander by DQ. They've been going more in this direction.
At least, yeah.
Specifically with Jack Gallagher. I think they want to have him have that big heel moment where he really attacks someone.
Yeah. I feel like I'm all for his heel turn, but I feel like him and Kendrick is an odd pairing.
It's very strange. Both aesthetically and as far as their respective styles and how they've held themselves as characters. It's been interesting because it doesn't really
meld at all, yeah. On the other hand, I think their opponents do.
Yeah.
I would like to see them as a tag team.
Well, I mean,
on Raw or
Cedric Alexander and and I keep saying Jack Gallagher. Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann. As far as character builds are very similar in that they are the sort of inspirational faces of the Cruiserweight division.
How much more would 205 stand out if you had this tag team who was tearing up the ranks, who did get a tag title shot, and could hold their own against the tag champions?
That would be cool.
I think we shine a little bit more light on
I think it would definitely allow more legitimacy towards them.
And it works. Like, say, okay, this team, they're so fast and everything. Two of them together, they're, like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Two together are better than they are apart, and it works in the tag division where you have two guys that could completely tear them apart if it was just singles match.
Yeah.
But as a tag match, it works.
It would be cool.
Just a thought.
Just a little bit. So the next match that I would like to talk about is actually going to be switched. So I have the next one is Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt.
I don't have much hope for this.
I'm hoping
and I'm a huge
predicting that it
Wyatt
will be
fan.
a weird win for Sister
weird.
Abigail. And it would be a surprise win. Because Sister Abigail has been so hyped, I feel like to have Bray Wyatt lose with this addition would completely destroy.
But they've completely done that with him in every step of the way. Like, you can't have him lose every match of the feud, and then they'll actually have him lose every match of the feud. Or, you got to put him over because his last feud he was buried, and then they bury him again. And they completely have mishandled his push or lack thereof. So the Sister Abigail thing, which has been mysterious and been one of the highlights of his character, now that you're saying that he is Sister Abigail, or it's a proponent of her personality or whatever, it takes away from that. So we either need a person that is Sister Abigail or to kind of keep it mysterious somehow. If you're going to have him wrestle the match, I would say at the end, lights go out, there is a Sister Abigail that shows up. Yeah. And maybe she delivers the finisher and then he wins.
Yeah, whether it be rumored Sage Beckett, Paige, if you're going to have Paige come back somehow, that's another rumor we've heard.
Honestly, I would, yes, I see your bottle, baby. Honestly, they need his sister, his real life sister. I think they need to have a Wyatt family reunion.
Yeah, I mean, it would be cool.
And bring his sister in. All three of them look alike.
Yeah.
Him, Bo, and her all look alike. So, I mean, it would be a good aesthetic for the group to be like, oh, shit, these, you can tell these are brothers and sisters. Yeah. And, go with it.
I mean, that would be really cool. There hasn't been any news of that being the case, but...
Unless they're keeping it really tight-lipped.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, the whole Kane thing was a surprise, so...
And I'll say that because Bo and Bray have not been at the last couple of TV tapings. So I don't know what's going on there, and if that has anything to do with this match, or if it's like a family thing. Yeah. Or whatever privacy with that. But if it's for this match, hopefully it's going to be something good. Yeah. I don't have my hopes built up for it because they have handled this feud very poorly. Badly.
On both sides.
Yeah. And I feel like neither of them are going to get over.
Yeah, which is really unfortunate.
So
because both of them really need it.
I don't know where this will go. Even to make a prediction, I feel like almost they're just end it and have Balor win, and that'll be the end of it, and that would kind of be maybe the best thing for it with how they're doing it. But hopefully Bray picks up the win if they're going to continue the feud.
Yeah, I mean, my prediction is Bray gets a weird win with Sister Abigail, especially because they've hyped Sister Abigail so much. It would be a good way to put him back on the map, and I don't think losing in a weird way wouldn't hurt. Like, I don't think it would hurt him. Pumpkin King Balor is hurting him more than that, honestly.
Yes. That is, I don't know whose idea it was. If it's Balor's, then bad idea.
Yeah, I like to think it wasn't his, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, he does like the face paint thing, so. Who knows?
I don't think it's going to happen, but I would like to see a Sister Abigail that's not Bray hit Sister Abigail on Balor.
I would prefer Sister Abigail be actually a woman.
I mean, his sister was training in NXT for a while, right?
Yeah, I mean, then, they had
several years ago.
Yeah, she had gotten an opportunity to try out for the company. They had, especially because she'd be a legacy, right?
Right.
She would be a third generation wrestler.
Yeah.
So I mean
it's
that in of itself, especially in the women's division, would be big.
Yeah, third generation. I think Mike Rotunda is their father, Barry Windham is their uncle, so Blackjack Mulligan is their grandfather.
Yeah.
So, which is crazy if you think about it. A huge family legacy right there.
Yeah. And they're wasting it
and
entirely.
They're just pissing it away. What if Mike Rotunda comes in as Sister Abigail?
Stop it. We just talked
just
about
like
this.
his old man.
We just talked about this.
And the lights come on and Mike Rotunda, IRS, is sitting there in the chair just like going back and forth. He has a beard now and his hair's all gray. And Bray's like, it's IRS. There's two things in life that you can't stop.
Death and taxes. And Bray Wyatt is death and his father's death.
Both. See? I think Bo. They should have Bo dress up as IRS.
They just blew my mind. Changed my life.
See? I should write for them.
Yeah,
they don't know what they're missing.
They don't. They don't know what they're missing. With your writing talents and my acting talents.
Every meeting they would just go out like.
It'd be like.
Some of it was good. Some of it was weird. I don't know what to think about it. But I mean,
maybe we could make this work. You could. We could help.
I can make it work.
But yes. So the next match that we're going to talk about is the last non-title match on the card, and that is probably one of the more hyped matches. That is Asuka versus Emma. My prediction, of course, is that Emma will not be ready for Asuka.
I'm hoping it's a short match.
I can't imagine that they would have Emma win this.
I couldn't imagine they had Emma win for this. I mean, I know it's a big debut, so hopefully it'll be a squash match. Since Emma is not relevant, I don't want to throw shade, but that's how she's booked. She's not relevant, and it is like you've talked about, a throwback to their NXT feuds and stuff. But for your casual fan, or even your hardcore fans who don't have time to follow everything, this match holds no interest to anybody.
Except as a display of Asuka's dominance.
And that's all it should be.
So, I mean, her entrance will probably be spectacular, as it usually is.
The entrance should be longer than the match.
Yeah.
But I will say this,
especially because they've sort of built her on having this huge undefeated streak, similarly to how they had with Goldberg.
They need to keep it going.
They should definitely keep that going. And she's, I mean, on the main roster, she's the on any roster, NXT, 205, Raw, SmackDown, she's the longest reigning singles champion.
What I heard ties into that, and somebody in wrestling has said it, and I can't remember who, but they suggested that her first match she should lose, so that's not hanging over her like Goldberg, because the way they did Goldberg, it built up, and they didn't know what to do with it, so they just did the cheap loss. Kevin Nash, or I think it was Scott Hall, and Nash getting the cheap win. I don't know.
I would hope they don't do that, because I feel like if they do that, especially because we're not sure how people are going to receive Asuka.
I mean, if they don't...
If this wasn't her first match on the main roster, I might feel differently. But because it is, there's so much hanging on that specific fact that this is her first match on the main roster.
And it's not just that it's at a pay-per-view and they've hyped it, so... do you want to put somebody over and have them lose the first match?
My concern is that because she's not as well known on, like, to the casual fan because of, like...
I thought they would do a big promotion showing her in NXT as they've done these TLC, Asuka, and people going, all right, well, who's Asuka? Because I don't watch TLC, I don't have the network or whatever. That they would show clips of her building up, but then S.H.I.E.L.D. has completely overshadowed that promotion. So I don't know what their plans are for this.
I'm hoping that her first feud is with Emma, and maybe they can trade back and forth wins and losses, but I think definitely because this is her first match, this is the first time many fans on a general level are going to be introduced to her. I think that she needs this win. Especially because of how people
winning streak.
Or how little people care about Emma right now. Yeah. If she loses to Emma, then it would completely It would. I mean, on one hand, you could build her from the ground up. It wouldn't really bury her because nobody really knows her unless you're following NXT. But I mean, that's my point. They don't really know her, so if she loses to them because they don't know her, she's just like another jobber. Where they don't know her name.
Right.
So, yeah. Asuka's awesome. Asuka. She's one of my favorites.
I would have her win, and I would continue the streak and
definitely
not have her lose until she wins the title. I'm not saying put the title on her immediately at the end of the month, 2 months, but she needs to run through the competition. Even feuds, every feud she should just run through the other person.
And I mean,
I don't know how they're going to do that. They could do it like they did Braun, where they had just bring in a random jobber every week.
But I mean, look at Asuka's history with a lot of other women's competitors that were in NXT. So she's faced Bayley and won. She's faced Nia Jax and won. She's beaten Dana Brooke, Emma. She's had a lot of these competitors who have eventually gone up to the main roster. She's gone through them. And not just and Mickie James and Mickie James' return match to the WWE, which was a really good match. So she's shown this level of dominance that all these people have come past. So
it would honestly, her streak would fix a lot of the problems with the women's division, especially if you only have 6 to 8 people in this division who are split between 2 brands. I feel like they just need to bring people up from NXT to challenge every now and then, or have squash matches with.
Oh, definitely.
Or just local unknowns, which they did with Braun.
And they also did some with Carmella when they were trying to rebuild Carmella.
So they need to do that. That would fill up a lot of the spots as she's being built towards the title match. And
would give a lot of opportunities to the other people who are training with the WWE currently. They have a huge talent pool as far as women goes now that the Mae Young Classic happened. That would be a great opportunity to have more people come in, and even just as enhancement talent as a one-off match. I mean, it would be really cool.
So, I mean, if they did that, and I would not strap her before WrestleMania, honestly.
Oh, no.
Build up to that. But it would start with, of course, Emma. You could do an Emma feud. for, a month and then slowly switch out. But I think there is a problem with, apparently with Nia being granted a leave of absence. I don't know how long she's going to be gone.
So
that would be a huge feud for
not only that,
Asuka.
but now that Nia Jax isn't there to be the dominant force in the women's division.
On the heel side.
Here's where Asuka will come in.
But
and Asuka's not really being sold as a heel or a face right now. She's being sold as, the Empress.
Yeah.
Asuka. I liked her as a heel a lot. When she solidly turned heel in NXT, I was a really big fan. I liked how she would run in on matches and just basically destroy everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was great work, and I mean, it showed that she was dominant.
Yeah.
And it did great work for a character, so hopefully I would like that to continue, and especially because, like we were talking about, Nia Jax isn't there. This would be a good way of building up another monster and then having maybe a potential showdown between the two of them.
Yeah.
Maybe Nia Jax comes back, strap Nia Jax, have the person to beat Nia Jax be Asuka.
Maybe. That would be a good way to get Nia over.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I mean, I think might be plenty of other female wrestlers out there that they could contract even for short term. Maybe even Kong for, be brought
cool.
in to take on Asuka. Or even, someone from Japan that, they haven't considered, but someone from Japan that they could bring in for a short term or something. Allison,
Bring back Io Shirai.
I don't think that's going to happen.
That would be cool, though.
But yeah, that's the Asuka match. We're going to both say Asuka, I think.
Oh, definitely. So the next match we're going to talk about is the first of the 2 title matches, and I was mistaken. The main event is not a title match. It's just, hyped like one. So the first title match we're going to talk about is Kalisto versus Enso Amore for the Cruiserweight Championship. I say Amore gets a cheap win, just so we can find out that he, again, did not read that no contact clause that Kurt Angle signed well enough. And it's just like, oh no, that was only for your first title reign. And then that would be an opportunity to have his friends turn against him. And maybe give a good contendership, perhaps not a win, but a good contendership to someone like Drew Gulak or Noam Dar or even Ari Daivari, who has shown a lot of really good work within the Cruiserweight division, but hasn't really gotten that push.
I think a lot of it depends on what happens with Neville. If they've ironed that out, I say Enzo will get the title back. And we'll see Neville come out.
Ooh.
And
crazy thought.
Restart that back.
What
up. If
this thing is a work with Neville?
It could be.
Because I mean, both sides have been very hush hush about it. Neville hasn't confirmed or denied. Neither has the WWE. I mean, Wrestling Observer newsletter, which typically does give accurate news, might have just been fed something.
Could have been.
Or
what if this was a way to turn Neville heel again?
Yeah.
What if Neville is going to work with Enzo? I don't know. I mean,
crazier things have happened.
If Neville comes out and costs Kalisto the match, and Enzo is restrapped, at least we might get a little feud between Neville and Kalisto, which would be good.
Yeah. And it'd be excellent considering their both differences and similarities in style as far as wrestling goes. I like how Neville as a heel doesn't use quite as many of the spots that he used to.
Yeah.
He does a lot more groundwork at using the ring
because he
Saturn.
He completely overpowers the competition. I hope, because I would like to see Neville back, and it would be good.
His latest run in the Cruiserweight division has really won me over.
Oh,
as
completely.
far as seeing what he's capable of.
Kind of ironic to say. I mean, I don't think anybody gave much credence to the 205.
Yeah. But it's like.
But his work has really been.
And it's elevated a lot of the brand, because I mean, he himself was so dominant that it made whoever even lasted a while against him look better. And I mean, Tozawa, for instance, one of the few people to actually beat him for the belt.
Yeah.
And I mean, unfortunately, they didn't use that as well as they could have. That's going to be something we talk about at a later date. But I mean, there's so much potential that he brought to the Cruiserweight division that it would be such a shame for it to be lost. I think the question
is if feeding this to the dirt sheets is going to bring any more attention to the division that Enso hasn't. Or if they feel like, oh, it's starting to fade.
I think it would give. You know, I think it gives a lot more heat to Enso. I mean, he was already a giant heat magnet, frankly, but I think on a different level, especially because on the Neville level, it gives him a sort of different kind of heat because now all the smarks are going to be like, well, look, Enzo's tearing this division apart because he caused one of the biggest actual talents in it to walk. So I think that
I'd also
there
hate
is
that,
potential, but
that Neville is really gone because she just got a Neville figure.
She's like, I'm just trying to...
What's the next match?
So the next match we're going to talk about is the women's title match with Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. I would like Mickie to hit 7. I don't think it's going to happen.
Not going to happen.
I think Mickie James will win, but I don't think she'll get the title. So I think it'll be a DQ.
Maybe, yeah. Not gonna happen. It should be interesting how this match ends, as Nia has been like the go-to cheat weapon for Alexis Bliss for a while. So I don't know what they'll end up doing with this. I don't think they're gonna strap Mickie though. It would be a nice nod if they did.
Yeah. And I mean, it would tie her. It would tie her with Trish because then she'd hit 7.
Yeah. So if they did, I wouldn't be against it.
And
but
I mean,
think
especially because of the fact,
Bliss would win it back.
Yeah, especially because of the fact that Mickie James has been the brunt of so many jokes in the WWE.
Mickie James,
and it really bothers me because I mean, she's not like
she's Mickie James.
She's not that old. She's not fat.
No.
So it's just to heap all of this on her really sort of bothers me a whole lot, and I think maybe that's the point. Mm-hmm. It's because I'm supposed to sympathize with her being old and fat myself.
You're not even old. You're fat.
No, I'm joking.
I don't know why you'd pat me on the back. I could totally pull a DDP and main event.
Do it.
No, I mean she is a mom. She just had a child.
And she used that in a promo that she
and so I mean it is kind of like anybody that has kids I think couldn't look at that and give a complete nod like okay she has a child and she's still on the road and she's still doing this and she's in good shape.
Yeah.
She is older but she's competing on the level of all the others that are in their 20s. Yeah. So I mean that says a lot.
They emphasized the fact that on Monday Night Raw this past week, she kept up.
Yes. Why not? They say it when anybody else does it. So, yeah, super props to her. I'm going to do one right now.
Do it. Do it.
If I do, we will record it. Make a Kickstarter. You want to see me do a kick up?
It would be awesome. You're going to have to...
In any outcome, it would be awesome, I'm sure.
Drop that $1. Subscribe to our Patreon once we make it.
I do say maybe they will strap Mickie, but if they do, then
it's not going to be for very long.
Nope.
Yeah.
It won't be 24 hours.
Which is a shame, but I do anticipate a win for Mickie James. I just don't think she'll get the belt for it. So the last and final match of the night is
that really all of it?
Yeah.
Did you switch some around? Is that
nope? I just switched Asuka and Emma and Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt. Yeah, the card is very, very thin. There's only 7 matches that are announced so far, so I imagine that there's going to be segments, perhaps building up towards Survivor Series.
There's no Elias.
There's no Elias.
There's no Good Brothers.
There's no Good Brothers.
There's no Jordan.
Unless it gets thrown in as a gimmick match later. You know what I mean?
No Hardys. Well, Jeff's still out. But
yeah.
So
and Matt is wonderful. Yes.
So wow, that's yeah.
I mean, I will.
I get that you have the tag champs in the main event. You have the Intercontinental Champion in the main event,
And Brock Lesnar's not going to show up.
And Brock Lesnar's not going to be there. But you still have a whole slew of wrestlers that you could have built storylines with. That's not on the show.
I'm going to double check the card right now just in case.
Double check it.
Yep, nope. Still 7.
Wow. Very surprising. And it's, I don't know, maybe one of the matches will go really long.
I'm anticipating probably the main gimmick match.
So the main event
is
Shield.
Sierra Hotel India Lima Delta Shield.
What group just copied that and did their name like that? Somebody did. I can't remember who it was. I can't remember.
Watch it be the Addiction or something. That'd be funny.
I don't know. It was short. Whoever it was, it was very short. I can't remember. Anyway,
so it's the Shield versus the Miz, the Bar, which is Sheamus and Cesaro, Braun Strowman and Kane, in a 5-on-3 handicap tables, ladders, and chairs match
at ringside.
Cheerleading
Should be, because he got the biggest chant on Raw,
which was awesome. The Axeman.
I don't think anybody else got their names chanted on Raw.
Oh no!
But the Axeman did.
The Axeman.
You know what I hope happens?
The chains are off, you know.
Here's what I hope happens. So it's TLC.
It's still my favorite thing that he's done. In
at some point,
the chains are off.
At some point, he needs to chain someone up against the turnbuckle and be like, "The chains are on."
I don't think they're gonna let him have that because it's been so long since he's done that.
It's been
so long since that was his thing. But
I feel like he was definitely gonna get involved.
That is probably my favorite Curtis Axel phrase.
You couldn't build this and not have the Shield win.
Oh, the Shield is definitely gonna win. Perhaps setting up some cracks in the Shield.
Yeah, I think it will. I think Shield will win. Where do you go from here? It's like there's so many possibilities, good possibilities. I don't think they'll do any of them. I mean, you could turn Braun at the end of this, because if the 5 guys lose, there's going to be some blame to go around, because there's 5-on-3.
Yeah.
And no matter which way you look at it, 5-on-3, they could beat Rollins, they could beat Ambrose. The one who's probably going to get the pin is Roman Reigns, because that's the one they want to make look good. Strong. They want to put Roman over. And
if this doesn't do it, I don't know what will.
Yeah. So,
but I mean, who do you think he's going to get the pin on? I say
they're not going to have him. I don't think they'd have him pin Braun, because they want to make Braun look strong too. I can't see him pinning Kane, because I think that's the feud it's going to go into, is Roman versus Kane. Roman could pin any of the other 3.
I was going to say I say the Miz, because that's the belt he's missing.
It is, but I don't want him to be the Intercontinental Champion either, because it should be go to someone that it can actually help.
Yeah.
Even though they don't seem to do that at all.
But that was the
Roman versus Kane feud would get him through the next 2 months at least, hopefully.
Until the road to WrestleMania.
So
where he'll main event for the IC belt.
They would too.
Yeah, they would.
They would. So I don't know what I would do is I would have somebody turn. I wouldn't turn Ambrose at the pay-per-view, of course, because Shield's going to win. But either Miz or Braun needs to turn face, in my opinion.
Braun.
And
I say Braun.
More likely it'll be Braun. I think Miz could actually pull it off now, because he has a great response from the crowds. But people want to cheer Braun, obviously. And I think Braun can play the part. It's just like the Road Warriors sort of thing. You don't want to boo someone that powerful. It's like everybody's dream to be this strong, so you don't want to boo that. So I feel like Braun should be the one pinned, and it should be Miz's fault. Everybody else should be cleared out. It's Roman Reigns and Braun, and it looks like Roman's winning. Maybe Braun holds him, and Miz goes to deck him with a chair and misses. He hits Braun, and then Roman tosses Miz and hits the spear or whatever big to do at the end. And it's Miz's fault. Braun gets pinned. Shield celebrates, leaves, Everybody else has left.
Wouldn't that be a great way to start a feud between Braun and The Miz?
It would.
And then have Braun
be the Intercontinental Champion and let Braun carry the Intercontinental title for
Mania.
Yeah, ever. Till he's built up enough, because I mean, if you're not going to strap Braun with a world title, he has to be over somehow.
Yeah.
And it'd be a great way to build the Intercontinental title with a strong champion, build Braun, and you can just feed him guys forever. I mean, Miz versus Braun, and don't have Braun win it right away, because he's got Axel and he's got Bo and
the Bar.
Yeah, he has the Bar too. I mean, you can still interject them in with it. He's
built up a really nice sort of.
But the finish, you could have
group around
Braun get up, pissed off, Miz like, I'm so sorry, and Axel in there too, and then like Braun grab whoever, and the Bar coming in, and then Braun just loses it and takes everyone out.
Yeah.
And I think that would be the best ending for a pay-per-view, with the fans just
the real monster face.
Oh my god, yeah. And have Braun super over, and that leads right into Raw. You start the show with The Miz. And
with an episode of Miz TV where he tries to apologize to Braun Strowman.
Either that, or telling he wants, Kurt Angle out there, and he has a police order where Braun can't come anywhere near him, or whatever.
Because he's going to be a dad,
Right. So that's what I would book. So it's probably not going to happen. Yeah. What do you think?
I definitely, as far as the simple end, I think Shield definitely is going to overcome all the odds, because they're
Roman Reigns.
Oh yeah, because they're best friends and they're brothers. It's the power. As I do too.
Roman just shows up. It's really
believe that. But yeah, I think definitely it's gonna be. They're gonna be the face counterpart of the power friendship. You know what I mean?
There's no counterpart.
Yeah.
There's no way that
it's unparalleled.
They can never be best friends like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yeah, no. But they can try.
They can try.
But yeah, so I think definitely they're going to be the ones to overcome the odds, win. I think there's definitely going to be a moment of some sort of showdown between Reigns and Kane.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there'll be a lot of moments. With the pay-per-view booked this without that many matches, there has to be a long match in there somewhere. So I feel there'll be a lot of moments for the main event.
Yeah, I think the main event will hopefully be very long. Not very long, but maybe about 20 plus minutes.
You have
sort of give that chance for each of these 8 men in the match.
You have 4 of your top guys in it, being Shield and Braun.
Yeah.
Who all those should be able to get spots in. And then you have with Miz and the Bar too, they're not crap. They're top guys.
And then Kane's gonna be there to make sure that the feud that's supposed to start starts.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be great if we got Undertaker show up even?
The rumor
in his
is
wheelchair, looking all slim and boned.
The rumor is that Taker will be back in time for Survivor Series.
What?
I don't think
this would be the feud that would lead into it, though. Kane and Roman Reigns.
Yes, definitely.
God, this would be. They could finally turn Roman heel with a feud with Kane and Undertaker. Why would you not? How could you not turn them heel against them?
He's already been heel-ish.
Especially according to Triple H, he said that he is heel.
Does he know that? Does Roman Reigns know that?
That's what they've said. I think it's just an excuse to kind of get past this whole blurring of the lines, which that's a whole other show that I would love to do in Rant Time.
We will one day.
But yeah, he has been on record to say that isn't he heel? And yes, he acts heel, and he's kind of booked heel, like in a wrestling noir kind of way. Like, it's really weird, this booking idea they have now. It's almost philosophical, like, oh, we're going to book him face and push him really hard, and he's going to be the most over heel in the business, but he's really face, so he's heel. Like, Vince, quit smoking that shit. Anyway.
Yeah, that's our prediction. Those are our predictions for the TLC pay-per-view. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, it's going to be better than some of the things we predicted. I anticipate that there will be at least one filler match thrown in, perhaps in the pre-show or in the regular card.
I think that was Balor versus Wyatt.
I think another one. I think definitely maybe something with the Good Brothers.
No,
or Elias, considering the fact that they
Elias
keep
versus
trying
Jordan, probably.
Yeah.
Or Elias versus Titus. I feel like they should have had some sort of match like that, like Titus and Apollo versus Elias and I don't know, someone. I don't know who else.
Kurt Hawkins.
Sure. I don't know.
So that's
yeah. We'll see this Sunday.
And that's it for this video. So maybe we'll make another one tonight. Maybe we won't. Who knows? Who knows with us?
Yeah.
But so this is us signing off.